Hello and welcome. I'm Patrick Curtis, Chief Monkey of Wall Street Oasis, and this is Monkey to Millions, a show where you get a front row seat as I mentor young students and professionals to try and help them break into their dream jobs. In the first cohort, you'll meet 4 students, all preparing for intense job interviews while trying to also balance a personal life and schoolwork. The goal of this show is to shine a light on the struggles of trying to break into competitive positions with a non traditional background and to give you a roadmap for your own success. My hope is that as you get to know these 4 impressive students, you are inspired to dream big. Remember, these are real people and this is their true story. Let's get to it. In this episode, we learned that Victor is working over 90 hours a week at 2 jobs to make sure he can keep up with his bills. We focus on the highest impact tasks he can be doing for under an hour each day to help him build toward a better future. This includes a detailed section on how he should be leveraging LinkedIn and his background to build relationships. Also, an update on his search and looking to California for a job in finance. Enjoy. All right, Victor, it's been a long time. Thanks for coming back here. It is now April 14th, 2021. I was just talking to you offline for a little bit. You were giving an update about how your regions have now opened up to California for potential jobs, not just Salt Lake City. So that's been a change. You haven't made as much progress as you'd like in terms of the networking and outreach. You've done a little bit of the financial modeling training with Excel modeling. And I know now kind of is a better time for you. Some of the personal stuff is getting resolved. And so you're able to kind of start dedicating at least 20 minutes a day. Did I hear that right?
Yes. Actually, I will try to go for 40 minutes, 20 minutes before work and 20 minutes after work.
That's perfect.
But I'm going to be
and you're working 2 jobs right now. Is that right?
Right now, yes, I'm working 2 jobs.
So let's talk a little bit about, you had requested that we kind of do a hands-on session to show you the power of LinkedIn. Because I harped on LinkedIn last time. I was, pounding the table on how you should be using this to kind of build your network, build connections and relationships. I almost don't want to call it networking because it can have a bad connotation to it. I like calling it just build relationships using LinkedIn. So I made you a co-host. Let's see if this works with the recording, but why don't you share your screen and let's just jump into LinkedIn and kind of dive in and we'll try to do 1 or 2 of these.
Okay, I'm gonna go here and let's see.
At the bottom, can you see it? The share screen?
Yes. Right now I'm
perfect.
Do you see my LinkedIn screen?
I'm there.
Okay, perfect. All right.
If you go to your homepage, go to your profile, and then you go to specifically, let's see here. You go to search at the top.
Right here.
First, go to your profile.
Okay, my profile right here.
Yep.
Well, I have 4 connections. That was 248, so 252. So it's not ideal. As I said, I was trying to still figure out the personal stuff.
I think it's looking on another screen or something.
You're okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Here, let me do my screen and I'll show you, and then you just follow along with me. How about that?
Okay. Do you see now?
I'm sharing my. Oh yeah, now I see you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Do you see it now?
Is this yours or mine? I think this is mine. I think you're seeing mine.
I see yours. I think so. I'm viewing Patrick's screens. Yes.
Okay. So what I want you to do is follow along with me. So we're looking. Let's look at your profile, and we have. Let's choose something about your background where we can try to find some commonality with people. I think the easiest one is Navy.
Okay.
Okay. So what I want to do here is go up to search. Up at the top, go search. Here we go. Search for Navy. We're going to say see all results. And you can go to filters up here, all filters. And we're going to go to people. And we're going to go to all filters. Oh, they've changed this up a little bit. Look at that. Okay, so now past company, U.S. Navy. See this right here?
I'm looking at, yes, current company, U.S. Navy, but
yep,
location.
Past company, current company, also school, yes. United States Naval Academy.
United States Naval Academy, okay.
right?
Um,
You see that?
1 second. Past company. I have my current company, but there is no past company there for me
Okay,
for some
that's
reason.
fine. That's fine. And then you could do second and third degree connections. And then the other thing I would do is industry. I would do financial services.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Yes.
let's hit show results. Let's see what that generates. No results found. So there's something limiting this. So let's go back to all filters. Let's remove, oh, can't have current and past in. So let's just do past company, US Navy.
Okay.
And let's not, these are ands, so that's the problem. So we'll do US Navy, past company, and financial services second or third. So let's try show results, see if that works better. There we go. 7,900 results.
Okay. 726 for me, but let
Yeah,
me go back and okay, but I see what
you
you're
get the
doing now.
idea. You get
Yes,
the
I do.
idea. Okay,
Yes.
so now we have all these people who are in the US Navy, submarine officer, air traffic controller in the Navy, nuclear sub officer, all these people, right? And I
Okay.
say, okay, 7,900, that's a lot of people. Let's actually see how many are in California.
So we go United States and then California on the locations.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, location just California, United States. So now all of a sudden I'm seeing 896. That's a really nice sized. That's a really nice sized list. And so you could literally take this list of 896 people,
Okay.
and I bet you in a week of work, you could connection request to all of them with a short one line. So let's say this you'd hit to, so you don't need to be picky, right? All these people have either worked in currently work in financial services. So let's take a look at Robbins and Christopher.
Okay.
So Robbins, he's the CEO of Safe Ride Health. He's in Santa Monica, California. Beautiful location, LA, right? He's been there for this many years. He worked at BCG before. He was also in the private equity. So he has the kind of that finance background, right?
I see.
Um, so you can say something like, and he also, the beauty of this is if you look at his background, he should have something in the Navy right here.
Hanson. Yes.
Student naval aviator for a year in Pensacola. Boom, you immediately have a connection, right? So for these people, what I would want you to do is click on connect. You don't have to do it from here even. You can do it from the list, so it's faster. So connect, add a note.
Okay.
Hi, Robbins. You'd say, hi, Robbins. Um, I am looking to make the transition from Salt Lake City to California. You can even say to Southern California, and I saw you have a finance background, and currently, I'm making my transition from Salt Lake City to Southern California, so that you have a finance background, like me, and also worked in the Navy. I'd love to connect and stay touch. I'd love to connect and chat for a few minutes if you could spare the spare the time. Question mark. It can be that big. And look, you still have 50 characters left here.
Okay. Perfect.
I would make it longer, but that's the type of thing I would write. So, hey, Rob, I was looking for the transition to Salt Lake City. So he was Southern California. You wouldn't say that to the Bay Area guy. You'd say, looking to the Bay Area, looking to make the
Yes.
transition from Salt Lake City to the Bay Area. I saw that you have finance background like me, and also worked in the Navy, also, worked or, served in the Navy, whatever it is, right?
Yes.
Served in the Navy, blah, blah, blah. I would connect for a chat for a few minutes if you could spare the time. And that's humble. It's nice. You literally can send one a minute of that, or one every 2 minutes. So you do the math. You're doing you could do 20 a day, 30 a day. It's going to get you through this list of eight, and just start there. Why even branch out? Just go Navy first and go financial services, California. Boom, done. You're going to, out of these 900 people, if I had to give you an estimate of how many people will actually connect with you and chat with you, because the Navy's probably a really strong alumni base, my guess is it's going to be upwards of 1 out of every 5 will connect with you. Maybe a little bit worse, maybe a little bit better, but my guess is probably around 1 out of 5 over time. It might start out just 1 out of 10, but it'll gradually, over time, people will see it. Sometimes they miss it and they'll see it like 3 months later and they'll connect. But the point is, let's say round it up to 1,000 people, you have 200 people connecting with you, right?
Yes.
And out of those 200 people, the goal would be to get at least 20 of them on the phone.
Okay.
Okay, so that's about 1%, 20, that's about 2% of your
2%
outreach.
on the phone. Okay, I get them on the phone. Now, this is the second step, right? So
Yeah.
let's talk about that second step.
Yeah, let's talk about getting them on the phone. So, so if they connect and say, yeah, great, we'd love a chance to chat anytime, then you follow up with, great, thanks so much for the connection. And you say, great, thanks. And if they connected you, by the way, you should have a spreadsheet open, a Google Sheet or something along those lines.
Okay.
So you can go
Yeah.
here. I'll share my screen and I can show you kind of we have in the WSO networking course, we have, which I think you have, we have a networking template, which has all this stuff, but you could also just create one. You say name, date, initially connected. You can say source, that would just be LinkedIn, right? You can say email, you can say notes, something like this. So when you talk to them, so you can say industry, this will give you steps. And then you can have some conditional formatting on the date initially connected. And you could have like follow-up 1, follow-up 2. And with these, you should definitely be using something like a write inbox or a boomerang. So for example, if I hit compose and I send an email. So the beauty of once you've connected with somebody is, so this would be another guy you connect with, but Navy veteran, right? The beauty is, if I look at his contact info, oftentimes I can't get his email until you're connected with somebody. But if I look at my network and I choose somebody here randomly, connections, and I say, okay, Jeffrey is connected with me. If I go to contact info, I have his email.
I see.
So as soon as they connect with you, get it off of LinkedIn. You're not going to be responding on LinkedIn. You're going to be bringing it over to email. So once you have that email, the beauty is you go like this. We'll pretend Jeffrey is one of your targets. So you'll grab his email, contact info, right click, copy email, bring it in here. Boom. Now, even easier than a spreadsheet is literally just having these reminders with Boomerang. Remind in 2 weeks if no reply. Start with 1 week.
Okay.
Okay. And I think we had this, and you can say, thanks for the connection. You can say, Jeffrey, thanks for connecting on LinkedIn. And by the way, you should have a signature that's well thought out. That's with, it doesn't have to have your photo, but it should have like all of your contact info, any other stuff you have. Thanks for connecting. You can basically say something like, I'd love to chat for 5 to 10 minutes sometime in the next few weeks. I'm typically available anytime. And you put it in their time zone, by the way, PST, anytime from, 7 a.m. to 10 or whatever it is, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. PST, Monday through Friday, or, it could be later, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. PST.
Awesome. Patrick, may I ask one question there?
Yep. Go ahead.
How do you put test Boomerang? I don't think I've ever worked with it.
Sure.
How do you add that to your email?
Sure. You go to here. You go to extensions. So actually, if I click here, whoops. manage extensions in Gmail, and you would just search it here. So like you'd say, or you could just do add extensions to Chrome. Chrome extension. Whoops, no, not that one. Support, install, manage extensions. Chrome Web Store. Type in right here would be Boomerang. I actually prefer Right Inbox to Boomerang because it allows you to do other stuff, but Boomerang is fine. Right Inbox has actually been down for me, and it's driving me insane. The last few days I've had to switch to Boomerang, but here's the beauty. If you get Boomerang, it allows you to do the reminders. So after you send this, you put the 1 week reminder on it if there's no reply. The beauty is if you go under, let me show you this. You go under settings here.
Okay.
In your Gmail. You go under advanced right here.
Yes.
And you hit templates, enable. Okay.
Okay.
When I write this thanks for the connection template, blah, 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 I'm available to anytime between 7 and 9 p.m. or 4 p.m., 8 p.m., or even just do 10 p.m. Show you're willing to stay up late, Monday through Friday, whenever is best for you. And you could say something like, I'd love to learn more about your start at XYZ company, as well as how you made the transition to ABC. Okay. Yeah, it's our data. Best regards, Victor.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
What you do here now is you see how the reminder already set right here. But here in the bottom right-hand corner, because I've enabled the templates, more options, templates, save draft as template, save as new template. So this is going to be thanks for the connection, LinkedIn. Right?
Awesome.
Save. Now, next time I'm starting, compose. I don't have to start over. I just go down to this bottom thing, templates. Thanks for the connection. Boom.
Awesome.
I have to remove my double signature, but besides that, I just say, instead of Jeffrey, Tom, thanks for the connection. Little chat for da-da-da. Just certain daytime works with you. But now I've set up the reminder again, 1 week. Boom, send it. Next in a week when they haven't responded, which guess what? It'll be a lot of them. You send another one, and it's a shorter one. You can say, let's pretend this is bounced. This has come back to you. And then you basically can say, we'll pretend Jeffrey again.
And this is after a week or 2 weeks?
I would say 1 week initially.
1 week, okay.
Yeah, you can be a little more aggressive. If they don't respond after that one, I'll show you. So let's say if pretend this is the first week, then what I would do is do a month. So you go hit them once, hit them again a week later. If there's nothing, wait a month. Okay. So you go, Jeffrey, just bumping this thread up. I'm sure you are super busy at XYZ company. So no worries if you can't chat, but if you can spare the time, I'm available most mornings, all mornings and evenings. Text or call at cell number.
I see.
Okay, so just make it an easier thing where they can just maybe text you right there, be like, hey, I have 5 minutes right now. Can you chat? And you can try to jump out of your work and just get a phone call going. It's going to be really awkward the first few times you do these calls, but guess what? After after the 10th one, you're going to start feeling more comfortable. It's just like an interview, right? It's actually going to make you a better interviewer. It's going to polish these skills. Okay. So,
May we go to third one? Let's say it bumped again. What do we do
okay,
on the third
bumped.
one?
This is pretend now you've sent him an email, the first
Yes.
email, an email a week later, an email a month later.
Okay.
Okay. And so you want to know what the email the month later says?
Yes, will be. Yeah. I'm guessing we're trying to be like a little more kind of shorter, but to the
Jeffrey,
point. To kind of.
sorry, won't bother you again. You
Okay, I see.
again, but just wanted to make sure you saw this. If it's easier, you could even do a Calendly link.
Okay.
My Calendly link is here to book time. It sounds a little presumptuous. I don't know if you want to go
I
that way,
see.
but you kind of have little to lose and you're making it potentially easier for some people. Might just go click, click, click.
Yeah,
You might also want to put a Calendly link in your signature
I
so
see.
that if they want to do it that way, um, you can have something like book a time to chat there in the signature. It can look a little salesy, so I wouldn't really emphasize it initially. I want it to be more personal.
I see.
I don't want you to be like, here, book a time to chat, because then you look like you're a sales guy,
Yes,
right?
yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Instead of won't bother you again, just wanted to make sure you saw this. I won't bother you again. Just wanted to reach out one last time. These are my calendar link is here, and then the is here. I would link it there to book a time. Otherwise, I'm happy to call you whenever is best, is convenient for you, something like that, right?
I see. Yeah. And how do I get the calendar link? Sorry. Is that I have to download from the store?
Calendly.com. Yeah, you create
Okay,
it's
good.
an easy free thing, Calendly. You just create your own calendar. You should sync it up to your Gmail calendar.
I see. Okay.
And you should keep that calendar when you're working and you know you can't be on the phone. You should block off those times.
I see.
Or you're on vacation, you can't talk that week, block off those times if you're going to use this. But you can have a recurring schedule and open slots like 10-minute, and you can make them 10-minute slots. So it's very low ask, right? So you get them on the phone, and then your phone calls, some of them will be, you can just have a gap of 20 minutes in between when people are allowed to book. So you don't get two 10-minute calls right next to each other.
I
You can have
see.
a 10-minute call, but there's a 20-minute gap. So if it does go 30 minutes, you're okay
Okay.
to take the next call. You
Yeah.
can even, you know what I mean? You can even do 45-minute gaps. You're not going to need that many slots because you're not going to
Yeah,
get that
of
many
course.
calls initially.
Yes, of course, of course. Understandable. Two questions there. This is gonna be the last one, right? Third month, and if it doesn't, or whoever he or she doesn't
So
come out.
no, then I'm going to
Okay.
put a year. I'm going to
Oh,
put a
there's a
reminder
year
on
one.
here for a year one, but the year one's going to be
Okay.
a little bit different. Jeffrey, I know we never got a chance to connect last year, but I thought I'd reach out to give you an update. You can say I've made the transition to California. You can say at this point, I've been applying for these types of roles and I'm in final rounds here. At this
I see.
point, what you want to do in a year's a long time. You may want to do 6 months. 6 months can get they could be a little bit annoying, especially since you said it's the last time I'll reach out to you.
Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, but a year's okay. A year, you're just kind of pinging them, updating it, and they'll be like, wow, this guy doesn't give up. And the beauty of that is in this like long dated email, where they haven't responded to you, you haven't taken that as a no. You haven't taken that as a rejection. You're still positive. You're still humble. And more importantly, you're showing progress. You could even say in the third email after a month, be like, I'm looking to learn more about that. You can say, I really admired your transition from here to here. And so, I'm looking to do something similar. I've managed to get into final rounds, or I've managed to just give a little update. So you can have that's a personal update for yourself of like what's the latest thing, and then just relate it to what they've done.
Okay. And relate to that what they done. Okay.
And this you don't have to even have a template for it yet because they're so far
I
away.
see. I see. Yeah, yeah.
But the
I
more
see.
important thing is that you don't just give up.
Yeah, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
these are leads you connect. These are people who connected with you on
Yes.
LinkedIn. So it's probably they got too busy. They just said, Victor, I don't have time for it right now. So they just ignored you. So like, I think letting it go is a mistake. I think, the fourth time with nothing is it's kind of funny. It's kind of silly, but it's a year later or even 9 months later. it's kind of like, wow, oh, I forgot about that guy. And then maybe they're in a better spot at that point where they're not in the middle of
I
a
see.
deal and they can talk with you. And more importantly, it shows that you're moving forward. It's not like you're like bettering yourself, and people like to help people who are showing signs of progress and all that stuff, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So I would, and then, after that, if they don't respond after the 9 month or the 1 year, thing, I think after that, sure, you can probably let it go.
I see. Okay, perfect. The
Okay.
second question, let's say they got on the phone, I got lucky.
I mean,
This is
honestly,
yeah.
even after the 1 year, if they don't respond, I would put another reminder another year later.
Okay, and
Say,
year
hey, I've
two.
moved to California. I'm now an investment banking analyst. Da, da. You start showing traction, eventually they're going to be like, wow, you're still, why do you keep, and you'll get some people being like, stop updating me about your life like every year.
I see. I
But
see. Yeah, yeah,
but what happens if you've built up a list of like 300 people where you're updating them on your life and your transitions, and you're only doing it once a year and it's a short email,
yeah.
and you keep saying nice stuff about them and, oh, I saw you transition to here, congrats, and you're actually doing that. It's a lot of work, but you're going to know so many people and you're going to hear about so many more opportunities. Oh, Victor, so sorry, never had a chance to respond before. Let's hop on a chat. I actually, oh, you're at XYZ Bank. Oh, I know there's new opening here. Boom.
I see. I see.
It only takes one of
Yeah,
those to suddenly make the whole thing worth it.
I see. I see. No, perfect. I'm actually very excited about this because
Yeah.
first you never give up. And second, out of 300, five of them, even two of them, gives you some kind of daylight that hey, I know someone who works there. Do you want to
Right.
give it a try? And it is a door open. You might as well.
Yeah. And so I think what's going to be important for you is to simplify number one, simplify your story
Okay.
because your story is complicated. Like, oh, I was Azerbaijan and then I did this, and then I came here and I was moving to now I'm in Salt Lake City. It's and then like now you're like, I'm moving back to California. They'll be like, what's going on? Right. So I think we should talk a little bit about how you frame yourself. And you shouldn't say your age,
Yes.
because there is ageism, especially if you're trying to break in early. You're
Yes.
older. So
Yeah.
don't don't offer that information. You can just say, hey, I'm a recent graduate of Georgetown. Period. Like you know what I mean? And so like there's Navy is one path. The other path that you could initially hit, and you could actually see which is getting a better response. Maybe you do 100 1 week for the Navy, and you do 100 for Georgetown alums
I see.
in California.
Okay. And Patrick, about the question about the age, when they look at my Navy career that I've been almost 10 years in, wouldn't they kind of figure out that this guy is kind of older than an actual 21, 22-year-old?
Yeah, but why offer that information? Yeah,
Yeah, of course, but they will kind of figure
they could
that
see
out.
it, but I mean, the reality is you just graduated undergrad in 2019. It's not that long ago.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I think the hard part is going to be number one, you don't really have the hard skills. You're non-traditional, so banks are going to look at you sideways, being like, "Well, are you an associate or are you an analyst?"
Yeah.
Number one. Number two is like if you're. I mean, I don't even know. I still don't even know what you really want, and so like that's a huge just. It's a huge red flag of like anybody talking to you or chatting with you if they want to help. If you can't like succinctly say like I want to do this, and it would be helpful for us in terms of our search if you were like I know I want to be an investment banking analyst. You said that's what I want to be. It would make my life. It would make your networking outreach much. You could narrow it. You could get much more focused. You could do all Georgetown alum in California that work in investment banking or have previously worked in investment banking. You could do all Navy alum that worked in investment banking anywhere in the country.
I see.
You could do all these things. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does.
So like, and maybe it's not investment banking. Maybe it's equity research. Maybe it's asset management. Maybe it's uh, sales and trading. Maybe you know what I mean. There's lots of different things in debt capital markets, ECM, because your training is focused on capital markets. So
I see.
does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Can we little talk about like a highlights on, let's say I got them on the phone, they have 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and I know that I'm there to kind of collect information. What happens next? How do I go kind of structure that conversation?
I want you to talk about them as much as possible.
Okay. How they're basically their story, their position, how they get there, how they transition.
Yeah. So for
what they
example,
like.
let's
Okay.
pretend we're talking to Jeffrey
Yes.
at Morgate Capital Partners. So Jeffrey would say, yeah, I saw you graduate in 2012, and then like you immediately jumped into was this investment banking? At Moorgate, I think let's pretend it's investment banking, and you've been there like for such a long run. Have you ever? This is kind of a bad example because literally he's been at one company his entire thing.
Yes.
But like if he had jumped around a few things, be like, I noticed you started at here and then you jumped after a few years to there. Can you talk to me about like that transition, or how did you even end up breaking in? I mean, obviously Penn and Wharton's a great school, so like, was it something you always knew you wanted to do? And I think the more specific you can get about your questions, rather than, I noticed that you guys are you're a relatively small merchant bank. So this is like the perfect type of place to target because it's like 11 to 50 employees. They're sometimes looking for non-traditional candidates. I don't know if you can see my,
I do see it.
right. So they have like literally no analysts at least mentioned here. Um, and I don't know, let's see, people. Um, but yeah, they run really lean, right? So,
Yes.
you can ask him about the decision to like work there since he's graduated and like what's kept him there. Obviously, he's going to say, oh, the money. But, you could just ask him like, have you thought about, I noticed like a lot of people are jumping, or you could, you don't want to make him get defensive, but just ask him like, if he had any advice for you, what it would be. Um, given that he's had such a successful track record, up at Moorgate, does he feel like somebody with your background, like you can ask him, like, I've been trained, I have this apprenticeship at Goldman, but, I've been in the Navy for so long. Um, I'm a little bit older candidate. Do you think, what type of firms I should be targeting that would be open to like looking at non-traditional candidates or anything like that, like smaller boutiques? Um, there's also, Victor, probably some programs. Let me see, Wall Street veteran programs. Veterans on Wall Street, is that what you're doing?
Yes. No, the one I'm doing right now, it's veteran integration at Goldman Sachs.
Okay. Have you looked at these GI Jobs top programs for veterans in the finance industry?
No, I have not, but I'll
5 companies
double-check
that want
them.
to hire vets now. Have you looked at this? So like you should be looking at like Wall Street finance veteran programs. You should be doing these Google searches
Okay,
and looking for people that want. JP Morgan has one.
okay,
You should be joining every single one of these and using those to network.
okay.
But I think you're going to struggle until you, number one, build the skills and then have the confidence to back it up and talk about specifically what you want. So if you're like doing the financial modeling training, so we gave you access to all that financial modeling training.
Yes, yes,
If
yes.
you're actually putting in time there to build up those skills, you start feeling more confident. You're like, actually, I think I want to do the investment banking analyst stint. Or if you're like, hey, I want to do a couple of years and go to business school or what have you, um, you're going to be able to narrow things much faster, and you're going to be able to like, it's going to be, yeah,
Patrick, can we talk about that? Because
yeah,
building up the skills proportional, because obviously they're going to have to, if they're going to hire me, I have to show that I can do the work. And you guys gave me, very generously, I still appreciate that, the courses. I started with Excel. I'm going to follow up with what you told me. So I write it down based on the time amount that I need to spend. It's going to take around 150, 200 hours, which gives me around 4 to 6 months to kind of learn and at least master the 70-80% of the material. So that kind of gets me to like September, October, realistically. And this is put in about 30 minutes a day, kind of based on my
yeah. I
own.
mean, I wish I could tell you like you're working full time, which is hard, right?
Yes,
So like
yes.
you could literally do this. Guess what? An investment banking analyst works 100 hours in 1 week.
And wait, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Of course, of course, of course.
So like, I don't know if investment banking is for you if you're going to only put in 20, 30 minutes and you're not going to work all weekend doing this and plowing through these courses. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just the lifestyle's horrible. It's really, really bad.
It was more than a lifestyle, it's more like a location based. Is it going to be like a Los Angeles based investment banking? Is it going to be the same? Because
There's less, but there is SF, there's Bay Area. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. There are some out there.
Okay.
But like, either way, the skills you're learning through these financial modeling courses, they're applicable to a lot of other things too, and they look good.
That's the thing that I want to get to. Like what else I can apply those skills.
Corporate finance, transaction advisory services at the Big Four
I see.
would be really good. That would be a really good career.
Okay.
they work hard, they get paid a little bit less. They still work hard, but that can be used as a stepping stone as a transition before going to banking.
I see. What about startups?
Startups are a totally mixed bag. So
Okay,
you could be depends how late stage. Early stage startups, I would probably say stay away from. It's super high risk. You're going to get low cash pay and have high potential upside. Um, but I don't even know what they would bring you in as,
I
right?
see.
Like you don't really have enough experience. Like if you had done a few years of investment banking, let me put it this way: you've done a few years of investment banking. Everybody wants you.
I see.
You know why? Because you only cost $150,000 a year, yet you have the skills of like a CFO.
I see.
Because you've been in 2 years, you've worked about the equivalent of 4 years, and you have the stamp of approval from the banks that have vetted you and put you through crazy boot camps.
I see.
But that's why like banking is so popular. It's not because people want to suffer and work those crazy hours. It's because the exit opportunities that banking provides are really amazing. I mean, I can't tell you every single company that comes to me had this company and there's a job in San Francisco. They said, we want somebody with 2 to 4 years of investment banking experience. And I said, well, how much are you willing to pay? And they said 100,000 base, 50% bonus. And I laughed. I'm like, you guys aren't good. Like it's going to be very
Competitive.
hard. Yeah. I'm like, it's going to be very hard. You're not going to get them because they have private equity offers paying them 100 at 100, 200,000, right out of the gate. Why are they going to go work for this and this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. um, the good news is they had a new fund they're raising, so there's potentially some carry, and they were doing other stuff. So there is potentially the right person for it that maybe missed the private equity recruiting process. But this is the struggle for you. You're already very non-traditional. You have other stuff going on where you have to work full time. Like for you to get into any sort of track that's going to be where people are going to be confident of like hiring you, you have to you have to be like ready to talk the talk, walk the walk. It'll come from a little bit from training in the courses, but you can't like replicate 2 years of working in Excel.
I see. Of course.
Like 100 hours is not even close. That's 1 week as a banker, and they did 100 weeks of that.
I see. Yes. So
Even after the training,
that's
if you're saying it's taking until September, even after that training, you've done 1% of what an investment banking analyst has done.
so that's what I'm kind of I appreciate you're mentoring me through
And
and
that's
your
that.
time.
I'm just honest, right? That's
Yeah,
just honest.
I know. Of course, that's what I need. But the question is then comes that I'll take basically anything that comes my way if I get landing any kind of job and keep building the skills.
Paying what?
Trying to,
Paying what?
I mean, in the banking area, advisory, anything that comes, even let's say a shop with like 6, 7 people and they pay a lot less than investment banking for California, for example, it's 120,000, but they're paying like 70, 80,000 or
Right.
near in Salt Lake
No, that
City.
would be a great.
I should take that to kind of build up that skill. And that's what I was kind of
Yeah,
get
just
at.
to
Like,
do deals, And the beauty of that is even if you almost don't want them to call you an associate or a VP because you're eight. You almost want to be tagged as an analyst
I see.
because coming out of that experience, you can transition to either a better shop, the lateral opportunities. Like if you have 1 year of experience on your resume with a few deals, even if it's at a um, small no-name bank or whatever, but you have some deal flow there and you've closed some deals, you're going to be able to transition to like a very strong middle market shop, a lateral, like, and then get more deals. And then from there, potentially even get to private equity.
I see. I see. So that's the game plan then for me to finish the courses, do the LinkedIn
The
episode
LinkedIn,
a week,
yeah, and the
100,
courses, yeah,
and the courses, and try to kind of get my foot in any kind of no name bag, anything that here in
exactly.
Utah, and
No name
then
bank or like, start there and see if you get any bites if you're able. I mean, the problem is, you're doing the financial modeling skill training to try and build that confidence and feel good about your skills. The issue is if you're not training for the interviews too, it's going to be hard. So like, I don't even know if I would, like, if you're only doing that much, if you're only going to be able to put in an hour a day realistically, and you're committing to that, um, I think the networking for sure, because that's just going to open doors for you that would never be there. But then I'm thinking like, is it better if you actually spend time on investment banking interview prep and you have the investment banking interview course to do?
yes, I do.
So I think it
Yes.
might be better. I mean, how strong is like your accounting? background and your financial statement modeling and stuff like that?
Well, financial model, I'm taking the courses, but I did a bunch of accounting courses when I was in college.
You did.
So
Okay.
I am pretty sure I'm a bit rusty, but I have like a basics down. It should not be
Yep.
like a hard to kind of,
Okay, great.
to do that. So I'm going to give myself like a whole summer, just go through the whole interview thing. I'm going to do 20 to 40 minutes of a LinkedIn. And once I get it down, it should be easy. And then 20 to 40 minutes of the courses a day.
Do that and only do that.
Okay, and I would also do
But
like a
actually
24.
do it.
No. Because like I said, because of personal stuff that was going on,
I
it
know.
really
I
threw
know.
me
I'm
off.
giving you shit. I know. I'm giving you shit. Like, but I just want to make sure because I think just starting a little bit every day and committing to a little bit every day that's realistic
Yeah,
is so much better than us saying, oh, I'm going to spend 2 hours a day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour.
I
Like,
can. That's what I've been like
yeah.
at the beginning of class. I can't do 2 hours. That would
Yeah.
be a lie, and that would be misleading. So
Yeah. So, you're working 2 jobs. So let's do something small. And guess what? When you start seeing momentum, you're probably going to end up doing more anyways.
okay, perfect. That's what I remember.
Because you'll get
That's what.
excited.
Yeah, that's what the lady that I was talking about at the
Yeah.
beginning, and she told me the same thing. Yeah, she told me the same thing that don't
Start
let it
small,
up.
but just make sure that you do it.
You do every day. Yeah.
Okay. Because
I want to show you something. Like I have it here since
cool.
I just got back. So this is my calendar. I'm
Beautiful.
gonna put it here, and I'm gonna put like a plus marks. So and I have also in my bathroom mirror, so I can't go to sleep if I didn't put the 20 minutes. So I'll
Perfect.
make sure that it's
I'm gonna
just
make
on
you.
my.
I'm gonna make you show me that calendar next time.
Okay, all
I
right.
want to see all the pluses,
Okay,
and
I
I want
will.
to see the 252 connections. I want to see that be much higher.
Okay, it's a month from now, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Talking a
all
month.
right, perfect. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Yeah. Anything else like questions? I mean, if you end up getting on the phone with people,
Yeah,
just be curious, intellectually curious. So really be curious about what they do and try to understand what they do day to day. And that you're going to be fine with that. Like you can just tell them, sorry, I'm just learning. I'm just getting more knowledgeable on all this stuff. Blah blah blah. I'm trying to make the transition out there, but like I know right now, given that I only have the apprenticeship at Goldman under my belt, I'm obviously, you know, I'm always just still learning. We've done a rotation in capital markets, so like training focused on capital markets. If somebody starts quizzing you on capital markets, how comfortable are you?
not very comfortable.
Right. So
Yes, I'm being honest with you too.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's if I would say yeah, I got it. No, but I'm gonna definitely
How
try
many
to keep
hours a week are you working at the two jobs?
about 95.
You're working 95 hours a week on the weekends too?
Yes, but I have early in the morning and I have a night time.
How
That's what I
much are
would
they
say.
paying you?
Uh,
Be honest.
it's
10 bucks an hour,
embarrassing.
20 bucks an hour?
$13 and $16.
Okay. The $13 an hour, is it more hours per week?
Yes.
Ugh. How many hours is the $13 an hour per week?
That's close to 65, something like that.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, and you're doing that because of everything else going on. You need that money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I need to buy a car as soon as possible. So.
Well, your car's about to break down, right?
Oh, it's about to like it's really a sad place. It's like let me go, dude. It's been 13 years. Yeah.
And your debt is low though, which is good.
Oh yeah. Because credit
Yeah.
score, everything is perfect. I just want to make sure that I don't have issue with that. It's just very
Yeah.
low. So.
Okay. Yeah, if you're working 90 hours a week, I can see why you're only committing to 20.
Yeah, I just wanted to be honest. It's just not possible, but improbable. I would say, I would not get most out of it if I put more.
Where do your parents live?
My dad passed away last year, and my brother, and yeah, thank you. My mom and dad, they live overseas, so I barely see them.
If you were to move to California without a job or a low-paying job, would you be able to find a room that you could rent that's much cheaper?
Yes.
What's your rent right now?
Right now I'm paying around with the bills and everything $1,200.
$1,200. So I'm wondering, California's not cheap,
You know,
unfortunately.
I have friends I can kind of crash on their couch and be in the living room, paying them $600-700.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They might be able to save you, but you'd have to find something that pays you 16, 17, 18 bucks an hour and at least working 40 hours a week, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But then that would open up so much time for you
Yeah.
to do so
That's
much more damage with this stuff.
yeah, and also like a mental health and climate and everything.
Yep.
That would be much better.
Yeah, no, living on somebody's couch is not ideal. Living in an apartment where the room that's tiny is fine.
But I think I can find something. Like I can talk to people and find something that get one bedroom and work there. But for that, what I need
Yeah,
is
because
kind
if
of.
you could move, like, there's a huge advantage to being in the area and being able to meet people
I see. Face to face,
face
right?
to face. And by the way, San Francisco being in the city right now is probably the cheapest it's ever been in like 20 years.
I see. Yeah, because
So
of
there
COVID
might be a
issue.
room. So there might be a room that you could get for really cheap,
I see.
like just a room somewhere. They lost a roommate, whatever, and that might be a good move for you. Get out of that lease that you're in and just make the move so you can start networking. I mean, I think SF is going to be better for you in terms of opportunities.
I see.
Um, and then that way, but you're gonna have to find that job first, right?
Yeah.
Like that can be the bridge.
Yes.
And my question, what about the Navy and like what happened to them? Because are they paying you?
It's gonna be it's a reserve, and I do that once a month, Saturday, Sunday. I have to kind of coordinate. I have basically three jobs. So
So yeah, on that, what do? You have to fly back?
oh no, no, no. I'm gonna just find a unit there in
Which, oh,
California.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I didn't know you could do that. So okay, I'm just trying to piece it together. Like time is a really valuable. I know time is what you're using to kind of pay the bills and stuff like that. You're just
Yeah.
working these lower wage jobs to pay the bills, and I get it. I'm just wondering, is there like an arbitrage opportunity to help you kind of get to the location you're trying to get to now, cover almost what you're doing, but free up 20 hours a week?
Yeah.
Because if you're working 90 hours, but you're able to cut your actual working hours down to 60, but have an $18 an hour job, where so you're basically making the same,
In the
right?
same month. Yes.
You're working 60 hours at $18 an hour. You have 20 hours now to do
The
damage.
work. Yeah.
Big difference, man.
I see.
And that's going to
I
get
see.
you somewhere much faster.
I
Much,
see.
much faster.
I see. Definitely, I'm gonna start looking at like starting like a June, July because I gotta first get the personal stuff,
Of course.
taken
Yeah,
care
yeah,
of.
yeah.
And but that makes
That's a good
perfect
plan
sense.
for potentially this summer to think of that
Yes.
move. So don't lie.
Yeah.
Did you sign a long-term lease? How long is your
No,
lease?
no, it's June to July. It's only 6 months.
Perfect.
I
So
didn't
yeah,
do
that's
more than
perfect. I think you should make a plan to make the move either way.
yeah,
So hopefully with COVID, restaurants could be very busy.
yeah.
Anything like
Weekends,
sort of
yeah,
job,
weekends,
and
yeah,
they pay well in San Francisco. Because it's so expensive to live there. If you can just somehow find the cheapest room in San Francisco and then get the job that pays 18, $20 an hour, and has a lot of hours, you can be in good shape.
I will just try to look for people that I know and see that if they can find help, a job first because I don't want to go without a
Of
job
course. Yeah, you
and
don't want to go without a
and
job.
a room,
Yeah.
that I can put my stuff. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it,
man.
and
That's
I'm gonna keep you in the
yeah, and
loop.
I think we're on the calendar for when? In a month?
I would think May 14th or May 11th, whatever that Wednesday is.
Perfect. All right, man.
Awesome. Thank you
Thanks so
so
much,
much.
Victor. Talk soon.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
And thanks to you, my listeners at Wall Street Oasis. If you have any suggestions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to send them my way, Patrick at wallstreetoasis.com. Until next time.